Hey everybody, this is Jay Donovan from TechCrunch. I'm here with David Ellefson, one of the founding members of Megadeth and the original bass player. And today we're going to talk about this new app that David helped build with Pocket Labworks, and it's called the David Ellefson Rockshop app. Now, I've reviewed the iRiff port before for made by Pocket Labworks. It's a great, solid piece of hardware. This is an app that let's put this up here. This is an app that goes along with this cord, and it can be used for both basses and guitars. And David was he helped create this, with part of the artistic side behind creating this. So rather than me fumble around with it in the Panel Dome, why not go to the source and talk to David directly? So he was kind enough to talk to us. David, let's go ahead and give us the brief description of what this app is.
Sure. I spoke with Kevin because he had sent me one of his iRiff ports, which is the interface into an iPad, an iPhone, or an iPod, to interface in and use his software that he already had for basically, to me it was a kind of an iPad version of what we would use, maybe something from Line 6 or a type of an interface that you would plug your guitar into, and it would be some sort of a sound processor. Problem with those things is there's several cables. You got to interface into the product. You got to interface into your computer. You're traveling with the mess, the bundle of mess.
Right.
And so my thought was it'd be great, taking some of the technology that Kevin already had with Pocket Labworks, using that iRiff port interface. But let's tweak and customize the actual app itself. And so that was where I approached him about, let's work on that. And he loves the whole David Ellefson Rockshop thing that I have, which was really it was a YouTube video series that I started a couple years ago. It was meant to be a follow-up from a book that I authored back in the late 90s called Making Music Your Business, a guide for young musicians. And so anyway, Kevin thought, let's do this. Let's create something that's a little more specific to how you actually create a bass tone. So we'll set the parameters. Basically, as soon as you plug into the app, you get my tone. Right there it is. So when the tone control is set to flat, like it is when you fire the app up, that basically is essentially my Jackson bass into a Harkey amplifier. That was the tone we were shooting for. And we kept it real simple, very similar to the Harkey LH series amplifiers that I use, which is just a volume, bass, mid, treble. There's a bright switch and a limiter. That's it. There's no graphic EQs. It's real simple. It's a bass guitar. And we put a couple different speaker cabinets in it, so you can get kind of a 410 or a single 15, which are the most common speaker enclosure configurations. The other thing I said to Kevin, I said, I know a lot of fans of mine want to pick up a bass because they want to learn how to play P-cells, or they want to learn a Megadeth song. That's kind of and those are not easy songs to play. So we designed it so that Kevin set it up so we could go, if you have the Megadeth P-cells but who's buying album in your iTunes library, because it's the other features that this app actually accesses your iTunes music library. So you can actually pull those tracks right into it, and you can play along to those songs. We set it up so that album is in an odd pitch. It's about 50 cents flat off of A440 concert pitch. So Kevin set it up so that if you have that album in your iTunes music library, as soon as you pull it into the app, it immediately pitches that up to A440. So you don't ever have to retune your instrument to play along to that.
Okay, cool. That's a good feature.
On top of it, we added some other features with the looper. Which I love, because if you're learning a difficult passage, maybe the bass intro to P-cells, but who's buying, you can actually start playing it and actually grab that loop, and so it'll just repeat over and over and over, so you don't have to keep resetting it back. You can slow the track down without changing the pitch, so if you want to hear the notes a little more clear, or a little slower speed. So those things to me are what make this an ideal practice app.
Okay, but they're based off your amps, right? The amps that you use.
Yes. Yep, okay. Exactly. Yep. Because again, when I plug in, even from a guitar, when I plug in, it's usually a clean tone, and it's nice to add a little reverb or some chorus to kind of sweeten that up a little bit. Or it's kind of a dirty hard rock sound, kind of more indicative of maybe 70s hard rock, or it's full on distorted metal. And that's kind of like cranking up the gain, which is the preamp, tube preamp, to really get that heavy saturated metal tone.
Okay, and so how did you, on a little more technical question, how did you get those specs to the team at Pocket Labworks? I mean, did you like send an amp over, or did you like just detail the settings, how you dialed it in, and then they got a similar amp, or how'd you?
Well, good question. Fortunately, Kevin at Pocket Labworks is a guitar player, and he happens to be a bit of a Megadeth fan.
Cool.
And he's a pretty accomplished guitar player, and so he actually has a good ear for tone. So he would get things dialed to where he thought they were. He would send me a beta version. I would download it, put it into the app, and I would tweak it. I'd go, nah, the clean tone's a little too distorted. Sometimes with a hot pickup, like I like to use, it would hit too hard, and the clean tone would start to clip. So we had to back that down. I said, yeah, I don't really want these sort of kind of tweed amp kind of sound. I don't play like that. I don't think the people that listen to my music desire those tones. So let's put this, let's ramp this around what the people of the fans of my music are probably going to be inspired to play. So I tried to keep it very much aimed toward my fans, and knowing how I play, knowing the kind of music they like, knowing some of the music they don't like. Tried to kind of tailor the tones of the app according to that.
Okay, cool. So David, how do you use the app typically? I mean, do you take it on the road with you to warm up for shows, or do you sketch out ideas? What's what you do? How do you use it?
Yeah, I actually have it with me right now. I'm in Los Angeles. I have it on my iPad, and it's wonderful because if I have, say, a song that I'm working on, if I want to pop it into my iTunes library, I can work on parts with it from there. I can, for instance, maybe we're going to put a new song into the Megadeth concert repertoire. I can go to my iTunes library, pull it up, and I can play along with it just to refresh my memory. It's an ideal practice tool. These are devices that we have with us, especially on an iPhone, if that happens to be your primary phone. Now you can actually have that right there. So I just bring the iRiff port with me, and with a guitar or bass in my hotel room or on a tour bus, I can plug and play pretty much anywhere I'm at.
Okay, great. Well, then, anything else you want to tell me on? You guys are mounting a tour right now, like a world tour, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we're in the middle of a Megadeth world tour right now for our latest album, 13. We're getting ready in May to go out on a co-headliner with Rob Zombie and Megadeth, and then in June we head over to Europe and do a full European, pretty much a festival tour that we'll be doing over there, and then we have more dates coming up later in the year as well. So anybody wants information on that, just go to Megadeth.com.
Okay, and people find out about this app at PocketLabWorks.com, or they can search for your YouTube channel. There's information there,
or
too.
you can even go to DavidEllefson.com. All the information's right there as well to be able to find information as well as purchase the app.
Okay, great. David Ellefson, thanks a lot for talking to us here at TechCrunch. I'm a big fan going way back, so it's a pleasure to talk to you today. Keep us in the loop on new things going on with this app, okay?
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks a lot.
See ya.